welcome to the 2020 Auto Expo here on PowerDrift. That's Abhik, this is Ronak, and I am Shumi, and today we are talking about...
It took you a long time to get our names right.
Yeah.
It's cars, I sort of zone out, don't blame me. This year, 20% of the space at the Auto Expo, let's get serious now you two, 20% of the space at the Auto Expo was taken up by Chinese manufacturers, and that's pretty much unprecedented, and it shows that maybe MG has unlocked that door and they've shown that this is possible to do, and more people will come through this portal that has opened, as it were. The problem, of course, is that nobody was anticipating the coronavirus scare, and that led to a lot of knock-on effects. For example, Great Wall Motors showed up, but their press conference had to be cancelled because the senior officials of Hvala, the brand that they're going to do here, could not actually make it to the press conference because of visa restrictions and all of those problems.
That's right.
However, there was a substantial Chinese presence and they did flex some muscles. So if you were to do the Chinese Auto Expo tour, where should we start?
Let's start with MG because they were the first to enter India, but at this Auto Expo, again, there's so many SUVs. I'm really happy about the fact that we can talk about a sedan for a change. Okay. This was the RC6, a fairly large sedan, but MG claims it to be 3 cars in one.
Okay, I think Abhik is promoting his own video. We have a full video on the RC6. He features in that video, and if I'm not mistaken, you said this car is not coming to India.
I didn't say anything in that video because Rohan was the one talking most of the times. Yeah. So I get to say a few things right now about the car.
Okay, fine. Tell them.
It is a fairly large sedan, comparable to the likes of the Volvo, what is it, the cross-country?
The S60 cross-country.
S60, yes.
That's right.
So part SUV, part sedan, and part I'm not sure what, because how do you have 3 cars in one anyways? But a very good looking sedan, which I'm not sure again when it'll make it to India sometime later.
This is why it's the most important Chinese car at the Auto Expo, because Abhik is not sure.
But it's the only sedan that we're talking about.
MG RC6 is an interesting mix of styling. It combines a whole bunch of body styles into one. It's a super luxurious large car. It has a lot of technology inside and outside, but we don't know if it's going to make it to India or not. Okay, so let's say that Abhik is right and the MG RC6 is our top Chinese car to see at the Auto Expo. What would be the number 2?
I think number 2 should be the Hvala 8S, and the only reason I'm saying that is because it's going to give some stiff competition to the likes of the Creta, the Harrier, the Seltos. Yeah, and I think it should be just owing to the fact that it's Chinese. You're going to cut me off.
I did the Hvala 8S video. The full video is here. You can go and watch the whole thing. But in summary, it sort of is like a Hector, but it's blingier. It's leaner and meaner. It's got a coupe roof, and it's got a whole bunch of Lamborghini Urus cues, which is kind of interesting in what is effectively a Creta-sized car. They're also claiming 200 horsepower from a 1.6 litre turbo petrol. See how much I know about cars? I'm impressed. All right.
By yourself? Oh, okay.
The best person to be impressed with is yourself. Now, what would be number 3 on our list of Chinese things to see at the Auto Expo?
I'm gonna talk about Hvala here. It's a company that is owned by Great Wall Motors, and the Hvala brand actually specializes in crossover SUVs. So we've got a host of SUVs, right?
Wait, we just invented the crossover. We already have specialists in that game.
Yes. It's such a popular segment. Look at this.
So tall hatchbacks.
Tall-ish hatchbacks?
Okay, maybe I'm simplifying a little bit, and I'll just let Abhik speak for once since he never gets the chance. Go for it. What is the Great Wall Motors Hvala thing?
Alright, so Hvala has actually invested about 7,000 crores in India, and they're setting up a plant in Talegaon, which is a former GM plant. And they've got a host of SUVs that they showcase. You want to tell us about those SUVs?
H9, F7X, F7, Concept H.
Not bad.
And one more thing.
One more thing, which I can't remember either.
But I'm impressed nonetheless.
Alright, so basically, Hvala is a new brand that's coming into the market, and you're saying essentially that they're going to be making SUVs and crossovers is the space they're going for, manufactured in India out of the old GM plant at Talegaon, which obviously they will modernize and refit to fit their purposes. I also believe that Hvala is investing part of the 7,000 crores in lithium-ion and related battery manufacturing technology, because today we source most of the batteries that go into our EVs from China. We would like to see some Indian manufacturing. I think the only other venture before this is the Suzuki Toyota thing that was supposed to create batteries out of Gujarat. So that would be an interesting move, and if that comes through, that would be a lucrative market for Hvala apart from the car market itself. What would be number 4 on our list?
Number 4, I think, should be the MG Gloster. And there's a simple reason for that, because Toyota Fortuner has had its time right up there. I think it's about time someone gave it some competition.
Hey, it's a nice car.
It is a good car. It is a good car, no doubt. But at the end of the day, I'd like to see someone legitimately go up against it. No disrespect to the Endeavour or whoever else tried. I think one of the highlights of it would be definitely the electric powered rear doors. Yeah, the fact that it's massive and really cool.
Thank you for reinforcing what I always thought. Car guys are so lazy, they don't want to do anything on their own. And if you can get
just
powered
cool.
doors, bro, this is the car for us. So the Gloster is going to be a Fortuner size car.
Yes, absolutely.
So we do have a full video on the Gloster as well. The link is up here. And basically, is there any other Chinese cars that we want to see at the Auto Expo?
Well, that was my top 4 at least. I don't know, I mean, I'm sure if you do want to add something. Our top 4, sure.
Right, on the two-wheeler side, of course, there were other Chinese two-wheelers as well, but mostly sourced rather than being sold by the Chinese through Indian subsidiaries. So, for example, the Okinawa Cruiser, which is not a cruiser, which is a maxi scooter.
Yeah.
Then there were a couple of other small ones, I'm forgetting the names right now. But essentially, that was the Chinese presence at the Auto Expo. I'm sorry to say they were slightly diminished because of the coronavirus scare a little bit, but it was a big show for the Chinese. They are going to be entering the country in a big way. You can see it coming, and Hvala will launch shortly. The cars will go on sale. Haima, of course, will also join them. Watch out for that. Thank you so much for watching. This is the 2020 Auto Expo out of Delhi. You're watching it on PowerDrift with Gel Boy and Hairless. Learn to recognize them. They're going to be the face of cars during the Auto Expo for a while. Sorry, we can't help you there. Thank you so much for watching.